Booga booga. Okay, we're now recording episode 1 of the not yet named Dude Where's My Car monthly review show.
This is episode 1 of the Shibby Dibby cast.
The Shibby Dibby cast.
the Shibby Dibby extravaganza. With us two.
It's your hosts,
Chester and Jesse.
The real life Chester and Jesse.
They call us Ashton Kutcher. Exactly. It's perfect.
It's true.
But for real, I'm Liam. He's Sam.
That's true. We are Blood Gang FM, the MC, Tsoglav, and DJ Ellinell.
That's our stoner names.
That's the names.
Just
we
like
use
Smokey McPot.
Yeah, that's our secret alias for when we order illegal pizza from over the border.
Yeah, and get it brought over to us. For example, as happens in today's hit film, Dude, Where's My Car? Now, if you haven't been introduced to this amazing, ingenious idea yet, it was stolen directly from the same thing about Paul Blart Mall Cop, where every, I don't know, like month or something, I don't know, whenever we can get someone to watch this stupid movie with us, we're just gonna watch Dude, Where's My Car for like an hour and a half, because it's like, I think it was an hour and 23 minutes long, approximately.
About an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah, including credits. Gonna get them to watch the film with us, and then afterwards we'll do a review where we just talk about Dude, Where's My Car? And it's just the same as the Paul Blart one, but it's about Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah,
which,
it's a complete shameless ripoff.
Not even slightly intended to be subtle.
Yeah.
It's not even slightly subtle.
Make this very clear, we are talentless.
We are hacks. We do not know where our car is.
It's true.
The difference is this film, instead of the other one, this film has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes instead of however many Paul Blart Mall Cop has. I'll look it up right now.
So, for a little bit of context for this being episode 1, Dude, Where's My Car? was one of my favorite films growing up. I, of course, being the MC Tsoglav. My good friend and compatriot here, DJ Ellinell, the Jesse to my Chester.
It's very true.
The
Andrew to his Chester.
Indeed. He has never witnessed this glorious masterpiece, so we just watched it for the first time a few minutes ago.
This is the first time I've ever watched it ever in my entire life, and I have to say I was mightily impressed. I was incredibly impressed by the film, to be honest. I thought Andrew was very cool. I really enjoyed the concept that they introduced the monkey before they introduce Chester. They introduced the monkey before they introduced Chester. Then the monkey never shows up again. Which, to an extent, the monkey is one of the most important characters. Because the result of watching Animal Planet is what solves 80% of conflict.
Is sort of a third protagonist through Chester, you could say.
Yeah, he's like his guardian angel, right? He's like
always
his
watching over
angel.
him, just as Chester is always watching Animal Planet.
Chester thinks about him, he's like, monkey. And then he gets like inspired. I think that happens once or twice because he then like goes Super Saiyan or something.
Yeah, he becomes a big ripped muscle god and tears the Continuum Trans function in half.
He fights the big giantess goddess above him, and they duke it out.
Hot alien chick, I believe her name.
The big giant hot alien voring girl. The Vor girl. That's pretty much it. Okay, so the Vor demon, exactly. Let's start by going through the general events of the film and how they more or less transpire.
Yeah,
approximately.
Give us a quick rundown of this masterpiece.
The first thing that's incredibly important to realize about Dude, Where's My Car is that this is an hour and 20-minute film where nothing happens for an hour. They just kind of walk around and they say, "Dude, where's my car?" And then they say, "Where's your car, dude?" And then they say, "Dude, where's my car?" And it gets progressively funny each time. You can take that from me on a professional level. And then they just kind of walk around until eventually they find their car after about an hour, right? But let me tell you, that hour in which they're trying to find the car is one of the most fantastic experiences of my life. The entire thing is built on the concept that these two stoner-ass idiots, these complete buffoons, these complete dolts, Chester and Jesse, they're both waddling around town, right, with their hot twin girlfriends who are called Wanda and Wilma,
Yep.
I think. I had to check that because I don't...
To check the very detailed dude, where's my wiki?
Yes, I actually am. Because they barely establish their names. They get mentioned at about like the halfway point, really. Otherwise, they're just the twins, more or less. There's quite a few unnamed characters. For example, there's Dancer 1, there's Dancer 2, there's Dancer 3, all the way through like Dancer 10.
Gotta love Dancer 7.
Yeah, there's Dancer 7. There's some character played by a character from Scooby-Doo. I don't remember which one. I don't know if you remember, Sam. You pointed it out.
No, it wasn't Scooby-Doo, it was The Invention of Lying. I said they were from Scooby-Doo because I recognized the name, and my brain just instinctively went towards Scooby-Doo. But I was wrong. Anna Gardner, she's the leading woman in The Invention of Lying, and then also is in this film as Wanda/Wilma. You may never know which one. I don't think even she does.
Yeah, I think they were the same person, but like shrunken down. So it begins with them waking up incredibly stoned out of their mind. They establish that they have complete amnesia from the night before. They have absolutely no idea what happened. It's a stoner film, alright. It starts with them being stoned out, trust me. And then they go out, and immediately, Jesse and Chester, they're both on a couch that looks identical to a video we watched.
Yeah, it looks identical to the living room from Neil Breen's hit film Fateful Findings.
Yeah, exactly. It looks quite identical. Look up the trailer. It looks very cool.
Put the trailer on the screen.
We're not gonna put the trailer on the screen. That's not happening. But yeah. So they end up on that couch, and one of them's watching Animal Planet already. Our hit character Chester is watching Animal Planet, and they're just kind of chilling for a couple seconds. They're just kind of chilling, and then after a while, I think they get called by the twins first. Is what happens. Like I said, this movie's kind of a blur. Things just kind of happen. Things just kind of transition towards you, and that's kind of the majesty of it, because you don't go on like an emotional roller coaster. It's just a constant, it's just a trip.
Yeah,
you're
constantly barraged by jokes, and before you even realize they're funny and that you're laughing, it's another joke.
It's already done.
Yeah.
It's already on to the next joke. It's like barely coherent at all.
It's like if you loaded up a Vine compilation on your phone and you watch that while on the train, and every now and then, you look around, you realize you missed your stop multiple minutes ago. We are so engrossed in this amazing Vine compilation starring King Bach and his big spoon. So you just keep watching.
And also the videos on 2x speed. So like
it's also a Portuguese Vine compilation, so you don't even really fully understand most of it.
But sometimes they speak Japanese, but you know bits of Japanese. So you understand a bit of it, and then none of it, and then all of it in the span of 5 seconds. Right.
And that's Dude Was My Car. That's an accurate summary.
That's an accurate summary. We could stop the podcast right now and it'd be fine.
That's true, the podcast's over. Thank you for tuning in.
I don't know.
First episode of the Sweet Dude Shibby Cast.
The Sweet Dude Shibby Dibby Wibby Cast. Yeah.
The Shibsons. The Shibsons.
The Shibsons, shut up. They got through. Right. They got called by the twins, and then the twins are like, right, our house is trashed. What are you doing? And they also established that there's a guy called, I think, Sheen. Either Sheen or Gene. I think
One
Sheen.
of the two.
One of the two. I couldn't quite make it out, to be honest. Called, I'm going to say Sheen for now, because that reminds me of Jimmy Neutron, and that's funny. Indeed. So Sheen comes in, and he goes into the fridge and leaves, and then Chester and Jesse look at each other, and they say, "You know that guy?" And I say, "No, dude, I thought you knew him." And they go, and they both just laugh that they got basically burglarized by a guy they didn't know from the night before when they were incredibly stoned. And then, they just leave, they go outside, and they're like, okay, we almost forgot that it's our girlfriends who are both twins. They also never establish, I believe, which one they actually go out with each. It's just one of them has Wanda, the other has Wilma. It's kind of arbitrary.
I don't think that they can swap between. None of them are really fully sure who is with who or how the relationship started. So they just sort of go
relationship.
They just go with whoever they want to at the time.
It's a pro Jared situation. Anyway, so yeah, there's the two twins, and they're like, okay, we almost forgot it's our anniversary of going out with the twins, so we'll just go out, we'll get in the car, and we'll go get them all some gifts, and then we'll go arrive at their house. And then they go outside, and the first thing they say is, "Dude, where's my car?" And then the credits scroll. They just kind of go by.
You get Reddit gold.
You get Reddit gold. You get a bunch of Reddit karma. But yeah, they said, "Dude, where's my car?" And the car's not there. They're confused. They're so utterly baffled by the fact that the car's not there that I think they contemplate doing something drastic, but they decide not to in the end. And I think that's when they start walking. They start walking, and then they encounter, if I'm not incorrect, is it just their neighbor who's the old woman? Again, this is a very difficult movie to decipher. I'm going to need a professional's opinion.
I don't think it's ever brought up who or what the old woman is. She just happens to be in a car and be known of and be aware of Jesse and Chester.
Yeah, they just established, like, dude, it's Mrs. Crip Apple or whatever they say, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then they get ran over.
She attempts actual vehicular homicide.
They both die a horrific death, but then they're both alive again. And then the same joke happens again, but with a different person. I think their principal comes over or something. Or like their teacher or something. I don't even know. It comes over and also calls them fucking stoners. And as they get run over. And then they just decide to walk. and then the entire scene didn't really have any bearing because they just decided to walk because they got ran over.
And then it cuts almost instantly to the next scene. Meaning
literally instantaneously.
They probably did not have to walk very far.
Yeah, exactly. There was no in between. That entire bit was just for the joke because it's just funny. And it cuts immediately to the next scene, as Sam said, where they end up next to their stoner friend, who is called... Oh, what's his name? His name's...
Nelson.
His name's Nelson. And he has a dog. And it's funny, because they do the joke where the thing that does not smoke weed, aka the dog, smokes weed. And I think I laughed for 20 minutes at this point.
We had to pause the film. Yeah. We took about 7 hours watching this film.
Yeah, just to laugh in between, just to giggle a bit, really. Yeah, that entire scene was just giggleable, generally, and he spoke really funny. That was the other joke. He had a dog that smoked weed and he spoke funny. And then nothing really happens in that entire scene either, because they both get distracted by by poking the dog that they think is dead. But it's not dead, and that's the twist. Anyway, so that we just kind of skip that scene because nothing happens again. It does not bring them any closer to their car. They just acknowledge their stoner friend Nelson, played by David Herman. I looked that up real quick.
The one and only.
The one and only. Just so you know, our main guy, Hal Sparks. He's the guy who plays Zoltan, by the way.
Indeed, Hal Sparks is an incredible man.
A hive mind of ostriches, some have called him.
A variety. That's the other thing we missed. At the beginning, there's just a montage of a bunch of stuff in the film, but like stoned out of its mind in space and really bad CGI.
There's a CGI dancing, beautiful bouncing goddess cat girl.
Beautiful goddess Athena.
She's never ever used again in the film, which implies that they created her with the sole intention of making her dance in the opening.
I think it's no, because remember that's the symbol for the arcade place they go to.
Yeah, but it's not the arcade. The arcade place is the Spaceman. It's the kitty cat club at the beginning.
Yeah, the kitty cat club. Sorry, the kitty.
But they don't use like a 3D model of her. That's only for the funny intro.
Yeah, it's just for that. I mean, maybe it's for the best they didn't, because it did not look good. It looked very bad.
Bro, I don't know what you're talking about. We had to pause the film for about 12 minutes so that we could both calm down.
So that we could laugh.
That. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably true, actually. I don't remember. I was too lightheaded. from the immediate blood loss of the big titty goth GF in front of me.
Indeed, indeed. Big
Indeed.
nosebleeds, big Master Roshi, big spurts.
Yeah, it was like my favorite show, Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
It was like my favorite TV show, Dragon Ball Super.
I said kake kachidaze, and then I sped at super speed around my room for about 20 minutes. And that was about that scene, really. So anyway, yeah, we just kind of ignore the stoner dude Nelson. We just kind of go on our way. He's kind of irrelevant to the overall plot. He's only a hindrance, actually, because he gets kidnapped later. But that's besides the point.
Nelson is kind of a bad friend. He kind of holds Jesse and Chester back, I think.
Yeah, he kind of blows. Anyway, if I'm not wrong, after he leaves, I actually think, I forget if the special treat scene happens before or after they reach Nelson. I want to say after Nelson. It's Nelson then special treat scene, right?
When you say special treat scene, do you mean the scene where they decide that the special treat is what it is?
Like the big titty girls who show up.
Oh, that's not special treat. Special treat is the girlfriends. Oral pleasure is the big titty girls.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I meant.
Yeah, oral pleasure is afterwards.
Yeah. That's after special treat. Okay, cool. That makes sense. You know, there's an interesting fact to remember, by the way. The two twins, they somehow find out that Chester and Jesse were hanging out with 5 latex-wearing alien women who look very pretty, quote-unquote. But it's never established how they actually know. They just know.
Oh yeah, so it is. It is.
Is it? How?
Yeah, it's remember the scene with the funny blind boy? I think we were talking over it, but the funny blind child sexually harasses and gropes the latex women,
who are then confused because all they really want is the continuum transfunction of this blind boy for a continuum.
I didn't realize. Oh, those two were the twins.
Yeah, they work at a school for the blind to show that they are indeed nice people.
Yeah, despite also being stupid.
Yes.
That gets established later. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. That's a lot more logical. Okay. In that case, yeah, okay. So they begin retracing their steps immediately after they meet with their Bezzy Nelson, and they end up at a really well-aged joke.
Do we want to bring that up, or are we gonna skim that? Because I do want to remind you that joke kind of doesn't go anywhere. They bring it up again at the end with Spider-Man Eye, and then they get the money and they leave, and they're not in the movie for the rest of it. They could have cut that out, and the film would be the exact same. There's no real reason for that joke to be there, other than for them to say the funny T word.
They're not only looking for the funny T word, God. Yeah, the only so they can say, "Dude, you're a dude." Like, like even that, because the entire point of the film is that their coercion is to find their car, so that they already have a reason to find it because of the transfunctioner that they're trying to find. So why on earth? Why is the money also a factor playing into it? It doesn't really make much sense other than just to have the money.
Yeah.
I guess it's just to establish how they went around buying a bunch of stuff, but like I would have preferred it if it's just not established. I like to just pretend like
just they had a lot of money. It's never really explained why or how they obtained it.
They just have a bunch. I think that'd be funnier than what they actually did. They meet a stripper who they
meet a true person.
they meet as I said, out of respect, not out of ignorance,
not out
criticism.
of fear.
Yes, just out of general.
Out of humble respect, I'm bowing.
Right now. Yeah. We're bowing like they were when they learned Japanese even. Like,
indeed. We're saying sweet in Japanese.
We're saying sweet. Yeah. They meet a stripper who demands that Jesse give them their money they don't have, and they don't have their money because they for some reason or another gave them the suitcase, briefcase, whatever, full of their money for some odd reason. And then
that's one I don't think actually gets explained. I think
the individual just decided
if anybody's going to keep this money safe while I hide from the police, presumably, it will be Jesse and Chester.
Yeah.
Jesse Montgomery III and Chester Greenberg, the most trustworthy souls.
I had to look at their last names real quick to remember it, because I do not remember it being established at all.
I don't think it ever makes it even more funny that it's Jesse Montgomery III and Chester Greenberg.
Chester Greenberg. Oh, I get it. Greenberg, like weed. That's the joke. Oh, see, that's how good the film is. It's over and we're still...
The film is over, and we still have not even discovered an inch of like the lore behind it.
Exactly, yeah. And then immediately after the stripper scene, they both run away and they're like, okay, we gotta find the car to go get the money. So they immediately go to a Chinese restaurant, drive through to go get food, where the speaker box operator says, and then over and over. And this is where you'll start to notice the gimmick of Dude, Where's My Car? In that every time they have a joke, they repeat it a couple times. So, for example, at the start, Jesse says, dude, where's my car? And then Chester says, dude, where's your car? And then Jesse said, dude, where's my... And they repeat that a couple times, right? Similarly as to how they get run over by a car, and then they get run over by a car again in a similar manner, right? And you'll notice here how at the Chinese restaurant, the speaker box operator is talking through it, and they say, and then, in response to everything that Jesse says. And that's comedy. Let me tell you.
That is indeed comedy.
It's literally, he'll say something, and then the speaker box replies saying, and then after a while he gets really annoyed, he punches it out, and they just don't get the food and leave. And then they establish that Chester called the Dalai Lama a really bad word that I'm not going to repeat. That also did not age well at all over the course of 20 years, crazily enough. Funny how that works. So that kind of happens more or less. I don't really know why they go to the drive-thru other than one, because funny, and two, so that Nelson has another reason to kick them out of the car so that Nelson can leave the movie for a while. Right?
Which is only a good thing, because as stated before, Nelson is a hindrance.
He commits hate crimes. For example, calling the Dalai Lama a bad word. Anyway. And then immediately after that, I believe, is when they both go to the tailor. They get kicked out and they end up at the tailor's.
Yeah.
I believe that's correct. Yeah. They end up at the tailor's, where there's another genius scene where they repeat the same joke a lot. Where one of them says, dude, you got a tattoo! And they say, dude, so did you! And the joke is that one of them has a tattoo that says dude, and the other has a tattoo that says sweet. And then one of them says, they say, what was my tattoo say? And then he says, dude, what about mine? And then he says, sweet! What's mine say? And then he says, dude, what about mine? He says, sweet! What's mine? And they repeat that about 10 times. They repeat that joke a couple times. They repeat it a couple times.
A fun fact, actually, about that joke is that Ashton Kutcher was originally going to turn down the film because he said it was fucking stupid. But when he reading the script, he saw that scene, and that was what turned him around.
I think that's actually true. That was the same for me, actually. I wasn't going to watch the film, but then I saw that scene and I got turned around. I said, this is great. This is solid.
This is the film of the year.
Yeah. I also didn't vocally acknowledge it, by the way, but it does get established earlier, just before one of the earlier scenes. I almost forgot, because it has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. That the night before, well, I guess it has some bearing, because it leads into the Stoner Bashing crew. They hung out with a girl whose name is Christy Boner.
Very subtle.
Vocally acknowledge that. Yeah. Very cool. Very kosher. They hung out with her the night before and touched her tits or something. I think the wording they use is they touched her hoo-hoos. Which is cool. That's just cool. I just respect that, to be honest. That's just pretty
We
cool.
all do, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a universal constant, really. And then immediately after that, all the jocks or whatever, the stoner bashers come in, the thugs.
The muscle heads, as they are described in the credits.
That's correct. They're the muscle heads. They come in and they're like, "Why are you talking to Christy, dude?" And then they kick the shit. They say the main one, who is called Tommy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy smashes his hands together and he says, "It's stoner bashing time." And then they throw bins over their head. They just throw some, as the Americans would call it, garbage cans over their head, and then just leave them to walk away.
Which, in a very, very funny way to end a scene, Chester walks away, but Jesse just sort of walks into some people and falls over, and that's the end of the scene.
I just want to establish by that every time we make fun of one of these jokes for repeating the same thing over and over, it's in a very dry way. It's in a very dry, critical way, I suppose to say.
Yeah.
Very moist, critical way.
I don't think there's a single bad joke in this film. I think.
Well, stripper.
Except for the woman.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is how they. Yeah, but that joke kind of goes. As does the follow up to that joke at the end of Spider-Man. However, I feel that aside from that, and also calling the Dalai Lama the F word, I think every joke in this film hits really, really well. Especially the Vol joke at the end. Big fan.
No, like this film's really fun. This film is like one of the perfect stoner films. Every scene that happens, there's some weird slapstick going on that has no reason to happen, and it's so good. It's such a set of stupid idiot bits. For the record, just so we're clear on this, Dude, Where's My Car has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. However, it has a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon UK, which is just cool, to be honest.
I wanna give a reminder as well. Rotten Tomatoes, terrible source of any form of news, because Rotten Tomatoes gave our good friend Redbird36 his favorite video game of all time, The Last of Us Part 2, gave that a really low rating. So that shows that Rotten Tomatoes, NGL, kind of cringe, kind of low-hanging fruit. I believe is the buzzword.
I know this is a Dude, Where's My Car review, but Rotten Tomatoes, you get 0% from me. Up your freshness, idiot.
Looks like the critic score for Rotten Tomatoes is a resounding -5. Go kill yourself, admin. We here at the Sweet Dude Cast, Chibi Cast, Electric.
Sweet Dude, Chibi Dibby Wibby Cast.
The Shibsons, we do not condone the suicide or threatening of any member of the Rotten Tomatoes admin or moderation team. Except the owner. I genuinely wish death upon that, so I'm gonna look up his name so that I can make a vocal threat.
Oh no. This is on recording now. Can we call this the Shibsons? I like that a lot, actually. The Shibsons. I like that one a lot, actually.
How about we'll call the Shibs
Shibly guy. Shibscast. Okay, I can live with that. I was gonna say, okay, that's fine. That's satisfactory.
Or we could take it one step further. Yogscast podcast as Yog Pod. We call it the Shib Pod. That sounds terrible.
The Shib Pod. No.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me how terrible that sounds until it left my lips.
How about this? Right, get rid of the P. The Shibid.
I go stick with Shibscast for now, but if we ever go for like a prequel series, the Shibid.
This sounds like nonsense to anyone who hasn't watched Dude, Where's My Car, by the way. There is a consistent point in Dude, Where's My Car that the two characters, Chester and Jesse, whenever something good happens, or even as it uses like a verb, like they're walking around and they're like, "We need to calm down on the shibbying, dude," and then he promptly slaps him in the face. Throughout the film, they just use the word shibby to describe things or to say what they are doing, but it's simply they never explain if it has a meaning. It's just that word is shibby.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out, by the way. I looked up Shibbycast. I wanted to see if our idea has been stolen yet. 5 Google results. Second one down. Teen fucks her tight pussy hard with a long black brutal. Team.
I don't.
Doggy
Oh,
style
I get that as
Regazza.
well.
Shibby cast sucks hall.
Zoe Holloway 3.
Thank you, Zoe Holloway.
hell?
Shout out to Zoe Holloway. She's a special guest Friday.
Looks like there aren't any great matches for your search. Thanks, Google.
It's really exciting.
Anyway.
Actually. Yeah.
Anyway. That means it's not been stolen though, so lit.
Also,
But, yeah.
I said Shibby cast without the
like thing. So there's a space between the Shibby and the cast. First thing comes up is Dude Where's My Car 2000 IMDb. What is missing from this is not the cast, it's the Shibby. If I make it so that the search must include Shibby, Dude Where's My Car's IMDb page does not come up. I think
They don't say Shibby
that is a
once.
sin.
That's evil. They can't do that.
I think, yeah. There's also an actress called Carly Shibby who plays Renegades.
Carly Carmine.
Whoa!
Whoa.
It's the real Carly Carmine. She's in Dude Where's My Car.
Oh my god. They say Shibby a lot. That's where that word comes from. It doesn't mean anything. It just means like good, or just like just a party dude. It's the same as saying lit, pretty much.
Yeah.
It is the 2000 version of saying lit.
It doesn't really have any set meaning. It can be whatever you want it to be. You could say you got litty. You could say something's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
It's whatever you want.
That
That's what it means.
I'm shibbing. This is shibby. Something is shibby. I'm shibbying.
Yeah, if you want to make a threat
Yeah,
to someone, you tell them they'll never shibby again. If you wanna have a good time with someone, you tell them let's shibby. It's all just
Damn straight.
shibby.
Just
Pretty
shibby,
shibby.
guys, just
It's a pretty shibby concept in general, really.
It's a pretty shitty moment, but yeah. So they say that all throughout, and it gets established that there's stoner bashers who say it's stoner bashing time, and they mess with them. And they go through all of that, and I think after they do all of those interactions with like the like Christy and the jocks and stuff, I think eventually they get to the police. I forget what, because they interact with the stripper again, and then the police arrest them
On a case of mistaken identity for a midget and a bodybuilder.
And a bodybuilder, yeah. I think that midget was a girl as well, wasn't it?
Yes, I
think
believe it was a
female
black
midget.
female midget.
Yeah, which is kind of a commentary on modern America police, I guess.
That's true. They assumed something really bad of that innocent black midget woman
That innocent white man.
and that big muscle god.
And that muscle god, that beast of a hunk of a man.
Because Dude Where's My Car does not stop at pointing out Vor. It also points out the inadequacy of the American police system with our favorite character, Agent Boyer, I think his name was, who is the only named police officer, and his entire role in the film is to ruin everything.
Yeah, he's just a complete idiot. His entire point is that he's just a complete freak. He has no idea what he's doing, and he's just crap at his job. I think, isn't his first name like Roger? It's like Roger Boyer. He's like Roger Boyer or something. Basically, what happens is that they're in prison, but then they get approached and they're like, mistaken identity. No, that's it, because there's the interrogation scene, right?
Yeah, where they're torturing a mannequin, which Jesse does not really seem to care for, but Chester is broken into a million pieces over.
Yeah, he's crying for this mannequin. He's so sad for this mannequin, right? They're so sad that it's happening. And then out of nowhere, the policeman comes in ready to give them I forget what it even was. That he was going to give them
whips.
to like...
He has like a cat of nine tails.
That's right.
Bullwhip.
That's right, he was going to give him some whips. And then he says, hey, those are the two dudes from the donut store. And then conveniently, the time they're at the donut store with this policeman happened to align exactly with the time in which the car thievery happened. Or, in which the car was used and pulled out of somewhere illegally. I don't remember
exactly between midnight and 2
a.m. Yeah. That's when it happened.
Where they're like, what were you doing between the hours of midnight and 2 a.m? To which Jesse
and Chester obviously respond, we do not remember. But then your boy, Agent Boyer, the best character in the film, comes in and says, oh hey, it's the donut guys. When asked when they donut guys, he says, oh well, between the hours of midnight and 2 a.m.
2 a.m, I guess. Like, really conveniently.
Yeah, that's another thing we need to give the film credit for. There's nothing which like displays like even an ounce of like possibility of something else. Everything is like as direct as possible.
There's no subtlety to do.
There's absolutely no subtlety
whatsoever. They couldn't
it's
have
one
a
of the
character
most
say,
straightforward films ever.
Yeah, they don't have any character like subtly give hints to not liking Jesse or Chester. If someone doesn't like Jesse or Chester, they will assault them or hit them with a car or just call them an idiot straight to their face.
Yeah, or just like slap them, do horrific things to them. Whereas if they do like them,
they just won't assault them.
Yeah, they just don't do those things. Pretty much. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, they get on with them, or they attempt attempts on their lives.
Yeah, that's one of the two options basically, and it's kind of established. This is a point that got made, is that Jesse and Chester are made as these ultimate like loser characters, right? And yet every other character is like an even bigger loser than them somehow. Everyone in the film is just like a complete loser. Like there's this group they meet in a little bit, of the Zoltan group. They meet them earlier in a car, but they meet them. Oh, God, there's so many things that get forgotten in the works of this because it's so like things just happen, dude. They just happen. They just come at you, and there's nothing to be done about it. There's a whole bit earlier where they meet these guys from the Zoltan group, whatever it's called, which are these nerds who wear bubble wrap as an outfit, who really want to go to space. And they're just like completely useless throughout the whole film, pretty much. They just exist to get in Chester and Jesse's way. And for nothing else, really. Yeah. And that's about it. They're all just like complete losers, and one of them has one of the generic loser voices where they talk kind of like this. They talk like this
that's your boy Jeff, the best character in the film.
Yeah, Jeff, my man.
My hero.
Let's see who is James Vincent is Jeff.
Thank you, James Vincent.
Thank you, James Vincent. Unlike the other people here, he does not have a Wikipedia page reference.
That is very surprising. Dude, Where's My Car was not a solid jumping off point.
Teresa Tunney and John Torres Bay also do not, those being Tanya and Mr. Pizzacoli, respectively.
That is
so I don't know who they are.
Very interesting, because the whole film I just sort of assumed Mr. Pizzacoli was a celebrity cameo.
Typecasted as
yes.
a black man running a pizza shop.
There really did not seem to be much other reason for him to be there.
I don't know. Maybe the Wikipedia just missed the. Hold on, let's look up James Tuller's Bay. Oh yeah, he has an IMDb, just doesn't have a Wikipedia. He's known for Dude, Where's My Car? He was in 5 Ways to Get Rich. He was in CSI Crime Scene Investigation. He was in some other stuff I don't recognize. He was in Dude, Where's My Car?
The only film that really matters.
Exactly. He's in the X-Files, apparently. I mean, who wasn't in the X-Files, right? Yeah. And then he wasn't in anything from 2015 to 2020 until he was in My Yoga Mat, which is a short, and he plays a guy called Trevor. It's also important to note that within the film, the character Jesse looks a lot like Trevor from GTA 5, because he just has constant lockjaw, and he looks super distressed the whole time.
He does very much so not look like he wants to be involved in anything happening in the film currently.
You can tell that Sean William Scott does not want to be a Dude, Where's My Car?
I don't know if that's true. Sean William Scott, for those of you who are unaware, Sean William Scott, this legend, he in fact stopped having a career kind of because of how hard he was typecasted. The fact that he only plays pathetic wretches of men. He only plays. Yeah, he was in American Pie. He played an insane party boy. He was in Role Models, where he plays a party boy who abandons a child at a party to fuck a teacher.
He was in Final Destination 5, apparently.
He probably played the same character he does in all his films there as well. Sean William Scott.
Oh,
I think
he
loved being in the film. I think he was so overjoyed that all he could express was fear.
Hold on. You want to hear this? You want to hear something lit? You might already know this. Ice Age.
I do know Ice Age. I do know he plays either Crash or
he He plays Crash. He plays Crash from Ice Age. He was also a complete wretch of a specimen who's cracked out of his mind.
See, Sean William Scott, he got typecasted as a little weasel man.
Eddie was Josh Peck?
Oh, yo.
Eddie was Josh Peck. That's awesome.
Wild.
That's sick. That's crazy. Jesus. Alright. Anyway, back on topic of
Back to a good film.
Car. Back to a good film, other than Ice Age and stuff. Yeah. So basically, they encounter all these different people, and literally, really nothing happens in between them. They just try to piece together what happened last night, and they still have no idea. All they know is that there's a bunch of guys searching for the Continuum Transfunctioner, including some Nordic dudes, as it is put in the film credits, as well as within the film itself.
They are indeed Nordic dudes. The ones and the onlys.
The ones and only Nordic dudes. Yeah, that's right. I'm reading through the Wikipedia to get a coalition of what actually happened. And a reclusive French ostrich. That's right. Yeah. Then they go to the ostrich place.
The actor who plays Pierre is actually uncredited. Because in his own words, he admitted this afterwards, he was too arrogant
to be credited for Dude Where's My Car. Exactly. Far too arrogant. Also, I wonder if... I don't know about you, I'm getting Discord notifications from a group we're in. And I don't know if that's picking up on the recording, but if so, that's even funnier. You might have notifications turned off.
I don't have notifications turned off. It didn't come through though. I think Discord just auto-detected I was using OBS.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, streamer mode gets turned on, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, that is funny. That's a funny message.
Yeah, after they get released by the police, it gets acknowledged that Agent... What's his name? Agent Roa?
Bro, I don't know. Something.
Yeah, Agent Robert Roa, whatever his name is. Some police officer who's the most incompetent idiot on earth. Somehow accidentally pressed the wrong button and sent their car to the impound and then sold it for auction. In the span of like a day.
In the span of hitting 2 buttons.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
He hits the send to impound and he hits the send to auction button.
Yeah, exactly. So then they have to go to where it was sold, which it was sold to an ostrich farmer called Pierre. But as soon as they arrive, they get attacked by the ostriches and knocked out, where they then get imprisoned. And then someone is there.
An individual who will go unnamed.
If you want to look him up, he plays a character named Mark.
Yeah, he's not a good soul.
He's a guy.
Yeah, at this point thrives. His entire career exists purely as a Joe.
One could say that he is a dick.
You could indeed say he is a dick.
Yeah, crazy that. Anyway, ignoring him, because his part isn't very funny.
Yeah, he's kind of not even a very funny character, so you can't even be redeemed.
Yeah, he's one of the other not that funny bits.
Yeah.
But then Pierre comes in, and Pierre is funny, because Pierre asks them a question about how fast an ostrich runs. And then, being the autistic savant that he is, Sean Williams' character, Chester, responds, giving an exact summary of ostriches and how far they can move due to watching Animal Planet all day while stoned. So he gives an exact summarization of that, and then Pierre says, nice, and then he lets them go. And then they go outside and the car's gone. So the car's also still not there. They went all this way to find the car and it is still not there. And the character Pierre has to give them the only thing that he found in the car, which was a key to a locker at the arcade on like the other side of town called Space-O-Rama. Captain Stu's Space-O-Rama, I believe that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Right. So they go there, and immediately everything coalesces at once. Because everyone... The worlds really align here, the universes collide, as Chris Chan predicted. And all of the people across the film go there to find Jesse and Chester. So all the Zoltan cultists go there, who have Wilma and Wanda hostage, which is the twins, their girlfriends. The jocks also arrive with Nelson and his dog as hostage. they're also trying to get something that's been alluded to throughout the entire film called the Continuum Transfunctioner, which is meant to be some mystical device that's super strong, but nobody knows what it actually looks like because they're all stupid, basically.
Yep.
So they're all trying to get the Transfunctioner, and they just pretend that some random toy is the Transfunctioner as they try to leave. But then the two Norwegian dudes come in and are like, that's not the real one. And as that happens, completely unrelated, by sheer chance, Chester finally finishes the Rubik's Cube that he's had on him for half the movie, and that's actually the Transfunctioner all along. Funnily enough, that's the Transfunctioner that he's been working to solve, and he accidentally solved it. Just at the right time, fixing it, in the middle of this high-stress situation. He just fixes it in the middle of it, and then the device gets created. And then it very quickly gets established that it has 5 lights on it. When all 5 of them stop flashing, the universe will be destroyed. This next bit, I expected to be a bit, and it surprised me that it wasn't a bit, right? I expected them to do like a JoJo Part 4 thing, where they do a joke where they're like... They have to decide whether the true people who will stop the universe from being destroyed are the Norwegian dudes or the 5 sexy women. And the answer is obviously the Norwegian dudes, right? Because they're not obviously evil like the 5 sexy women are. Because, if she breathes, etc., right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly, indeed, right. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. It gets established that they have to pick one of those two. So immediately, my first assumption was that he was just going to give it to one of them, and then when they asked how he knew, he'd just say, guessed, right? And that would be the joke, but no. It's that he looks up to a banner, and he sees that if they get first place, if they get a hole-in-one on a golf course put, then they win a lifetime supply of free pudding. And it's established at the beginning of the film, they open up their fridge and have a lifetime supply of free pudding. So they ask the question of how many, how quickly, how well did we do on the football golf yesterday when we were here? And the answer is 1, and the Norwegian dudes get it because they were actually there, and that's the trick. So they thwart the 5 beautiful alien goddess women, and they merge to become a beautiful giantess. That's literally what the Wikipedia says. It calls it a beautiful giantess, clad in a purple bra and miniskirt. She vows Tommy, who's the jock. He's the stoner basher. And nobody really cares because nobody liked him. Pretty much.
It's true.
And then
it's
they
very
also
cringe.
Yeah, he was incredibly cringe, 10 out of 10 cringe. Anyway, and they start following Jesse and Jester, and then, did I say Jester? Jesse and Chester, they start following them too, and they have to activate the annihilation beam on the Transfunctioner, but they're unable to reach it. But then Chester, using his Animal Planet knowledge, remembers that chimps use a straw to push things that are too far away. So he uses a straw to push the recessed button and destroys the alien. And that's really how it goes. That's realistically the end of the film, right? Because that's the conflict over. They defeated the beautiful goddess giantess.
It's the end of the hero's journey.
Yeah. But then there's the wrapping up. So Tommy survives. It turns out he was only Vaughn for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Chrissy breaks up with him in favor of Nelson. Best
character in the film. Yeah.
The absolute best character. My man, he shows up once and does nothing. And then, Jesse and Chester get thanked but get their minds erased. But before they get erased, they ask the hit question, have you been to Uranus? And start laughing. Which is a true American classic joke. And then as soon as their minds get erased, they wake up on the day that they did before. They wake up at the exact same day and everything goes the exact same. They walk outside, but they find their car. Their car's right there. It's no longer not there. And then, they go out with the girls. They exchange gifts. And, of course, the gift that the girls get is breast enhancement necklaces that when worn make their titties bigger. Because that's what the Nordic alien dudes gave to Jesse and Chester as a gift to their girlfriends. And I think that's basically it. That's basically it. Or except they also reenact the tattoo scene, where they argue about what's on each other's back. That's more or less the plot to Dude, Where's My Car, as summarized by me after having watched it for an hour and 23 minutes. And I think that's a pretty clean summary. Would you agree?
I would indeed have to agree. That's basically 100% accurate. I think
all there really is to it, huh?
Yeah.
It's great. It's crazy how half of the I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for the plot right now. There is 3 paragraphs, and 3 out of the 5 paragraphs, like the first 2 paragraphs are the first hour of the film. The first hour of the film, nothing happens in them. They're so irrelevant. Oh my god. But you know what? It's just funny.
It is indeed funny.
I have to say,
it is.
It's just a funny film.
Would you agree with the statement that this is the greatest film ever made?
Yeah, I think I'd have to actually. I don't think there's anything that really competes with it in comparison to I can look at video games, right, and I can say, yeah, Doki Doki Hypnotize Club is sort of, challenged by certain other games, made by people, right? I can say, it's challenged by Jump Force. I can look at TV shows and I can say, yeah, I mean, I can say, that Mega Babies, whatever it's called, was challenged by certain things in terms of its supremacy at the top of the pecking order. I really can't think of anything that really attempts to collide with Dude, Where's My Car?
I can't think of anything that could ever hope to.
Yeah, no, Sam. Honestly, I couldn't think of a single thing on planet Earth that would be equal in just clout. Just clout, really. Just anything.
Just pure, solidified clout.
Yeah, just pure raw clout, basically. That's about it. Yeah. I guess that really sums up the film. So I guess overall, if I had to rate it, I'd give this 7.5 shibbies out of 2. Would be my only presumption, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be the only thing I could possibly give it. I don't think I could give it 7.5 out of 3. I think that's too unfair to the film. I could only give it 7.5 out of 2.
7.5 out of 2? Very interesting.
Yeah.
I think, personally, I'd call that retarded, and I'd give it 19.
Out of 2?
Going out on a limb, yeah.
Give it 19 out of 2 or 19 full stop?
Yes. Both at the same
Yeah.
time. It's just that good. It's just that good.
Just that good. Just that good. Okay.
So,
fair enough.
What have we learned today?
Well, before we say what we've learned, let's both real quick summarize. What was each of our favorite scenes from Dude, Where's My Car, and why was it our favorite scene? You start, since you're obviously the childhood favorite of Dude, Where's My Car.
It's true, I am. I wasn't paying attention. What did you ask?
What's your favorite bit? What's your favorite scene from Dude, Where's My car?
Yeah, my favorite
joke or scene.
My favorite scene from Dude, Where's My Car? This is a hot take. I really like the entire film. I think the best part, though, if I had to say one, which I don't want to, but if I had to, if my back was against the wall, if the funny T-word stripper was pinning me against the wall saying,
God,
MC Tsoglav, Sam, what's your favourite scene in Dude, Where's My Car? Please tell me.
That's me, I'm the stripper.
Okay.
Hanging out.
I would say, you know what? My favourite scene in Dude, Where's My Car? Hit film, classic film, best film. I'm stalling because I'm playing Duel Links on my phone. I just lost to a Stromberg deck, so now I can focus.
You're an idiot. You're a fool.
My favourite scene in Dude, Where's My Car? Prior to today, I would have said the Sweetie Dude tattoo scene. However, watching it back, it reminded me of my favourite scene from when I was a very little young boy.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really appreciate the scene where they're kidnapped by the cult of Zoltan. And Jesse and Chester attempt to escape from their captors by Jesse signaling towards Chester to pick up a nearby fire extinguisher and knock out 2 of the kidnappers, to which Jesse responds by looking at him and nodding and pretending he knows what he's talking about. What then follows is Jesse repeatedly attempting to show to Chester various ways to use the fire extinguisher to defeat them. Even
by literally picking it up.
Yeah, picking up the fire extinguisher and symbolizing, the assault he wants to happen, and then putting it back in place. To which Chester then says, "Do you want the fire extinguisher?" Jesse then picks it up and knocks them both out.
Yeah, which he could have just done like a minute ago.
Yeah,
of his own volition.
I never appreciated that scene prior to watching this. Obviously, I loved it as a child, but completely forgotten about it. Now I've remembered it. And so he said that's probably my favourite scene. The Sweet Dude scene, very impressive. One day I had Sweet and Dude tied on my eyelids. But I think
I'm gonna have
right
in
the centre of my forehead,
right in the centre of my forehead, I'm gonna
have a fire extinguisher in honour of
my
Jesse.
left knuckle is gonna say dude. My left knuckle's gonna say dude ! And my right knuckle's gonna say sweet.
I think I was gonna do that, but I was gonna have my left knuckle say "Dude, where's my car?" and my right knuckle say "Is the greatest film of all time." Thank you for this.
There's not enough room for that.
Let's use small font, size 12.
Size 12 fists. Your giant Camilla Khan fists. Jesus Christ.
What about you? What was your favourite scene, my good co-host, DJ Ellinell?
I really did appreciate, as you said, I really appreciated the dude sweet scene. That's a really, really good scene. Honestly, you did summarize it with the dude sweet scene and the getting out of the Zoltan headquarters scene, right? Mm-hmm. Those are 2 really, really good scenes. However, I do think I do think throwing a curveball. You want me to throw in a curveball? Try and figure out one that. I'm trying to think. I do really like. I mean, the most popular ones are the tattoo scene and the Chinese restaurant drive-through scene.
Yep.
Those are the most well-known ones by far.
There's also the better than Fabio scene, which is very good.
I was gonna say. I was actually about to say that might be one of my favorite scenes where Fabio just shows up.
Fun fact about that scene, originally when Fabio drove off in the script, it had him getting hit in the face by a goose.
Really? Why?
Because Fabio's biggest claim to fame in his life was one time he was seen on a roller coaster and a goose flew into his face. The movie director wanted to make fun of him by having a goose fly into his face in this film, to which Fabio said, "No, I will not do that. I will not allow that."
He had PTSD. he couldn't handle it. He absolutely could not handle it. I mean, it's a hard decision, right? Because what's important to realize is that every scene of the film is made up of overall it's only made up of like a couple scenes. You know what I mean?
The scenes are so structured in a way to tell a story, then also just set up in a way to make jokes.
Yeah. A setup for a bunch of jokes, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall, I really do like the scene where it's the 2 guys. It's them after they've left. I think not the clothing store. They've left somewhere, and they've talked to Christy, and then the stoner bashers show up, and they say it's stoner bashing time, and then they put bins on their heads, and then they walk into a table and fall over. I really gotta say I like the delivery of that scene. That is a very well made scene.
It is a very good scene. It begins with a hoo-hoo and ends with a falling over Ashton Kutcher. There's really no better way to summarize Dude Where's My Car.
There's something for everyone. There's horniness, there's funniness, there's dudeness, and there's shibbiness.
There's a high dog.
There's a high dog. There's more. And there's more. If you watch Dude Where's My Car as well. At home. Wherever you reside.
Watch it anywhere. It's on the internet. You can watch it in the Treehouse.
You can watch it on Prologue. You can watch it on 123 Movies.
We do not advocate piracy here on the Shibcast.
Well, I mean,
except for when it's my car.
Where else are you gonna watch it? Nobody's gonna sell a DVD of Dude Where's My Car because they want to keep it for themselves.
That's true. I own a copy of Dude Where's My Car on DVD, and if somebody approached me and said, "Tsoglav, I want to purchase your copy of Dude Where's My Car," I would fucking scream and run. Because they They don't want me to be happy.
They don't respect your privacy.
They don't. Speaking of privacy, today's sponsor, NordVPN.
NordVPN. Use this to do something.
Have you ever looked up illegal pornography of children? We've all been there.
Sam. Dude.
We're going to assume you said no. CP? That's why we said Sam, and we've all been there, because we're not pedophiles.
Yeah, that was us imitating what you said. That's what you did. You. Not us, you.
You're a pedophile. We are.
Yes.
But if you ever, you know, looking for a little the secret sauce, the forbidden fruit, as my good friend Matthew would say, NordVPN will ensure you have an extra 10 minutes running start from the FBI. If you are in America, anywhere else, can't guarantee you anything. In France, I don't know what the police force in France is called.
In France, they'll catch you quicker.
In France, they will catch you quicker because it's smaller. They don't have to run as far from the center of the island.
That's true. That's where all policemen are located. They spawn in the middle of the land, and then they have to dash. They have to fast travel.
That's why Russia is so powerful, because they have to run really, really far. Their legs are insane.
That's why the police doesn't do anything. It's all like gangs and stuff, because gangs don't despawn.
That's true. Gangs don't despawn. They find a territory they like, and they start spawning there. They put their beds down. But,
they have beds, yeah.
Yeah, the police force, they can't use beds. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah. I wrote it.
Me?
Me, that's me. Alright. I think that about sums it up for the shitty... What did we go with? The Shibsons? What did we say? What was it?
The Shibson Boyz.
The Shibson
Boyz World Tour.
I like the Shibson Boyz World Tour.
Alright, well, do you have any closing statements for the Shibson Boyz World Tour?
Guys, if you haven't watched Dude Where's My Car, tell us. And then I'll give you a inconspicuous link to Dude Where's My Car.
Yeah.
Where you can buy it legally. Because you should watch Dude Where's My Car. Yeah.
Not just for this podcast, for this life. If you have not seen Dude Where's My Car, for one, probably been very confused the last hour.
Yeah, probably.
For two, fuck you. I don't like you. I don't value you. I don't respect you. I think you should have less a person. Yeah.
You should have watched it, dude.
Maybe you have a shit last name that begins with an R and ends in other vowels.
L. Like Rosenthal.
No!
For example.
No!
For example. Alright, end it now.
End it. It's done. Goodbye.
It's done.